Right now, it's time to check in with Peter Range, Say Yes to Life host. And Peter, how are you this morning?
Well, I'm doing great. I can't wait to attend the canonization of Pat Odie Murray and Ron Finn. It's going to be great.
You'll
Not
be
going
waiting
to
a
happen
long
for
time.
David Battress, just saying. But no,
well, we will be canonized. It just won't be spelled the same way.
Guys,
Welcome, Peter.
let us sing to the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation, Psalm 95. You know, in all these battles we fight about, I talk about on a week-to-week basis, we got to remember to be joyful. The Lord is with us. He wins in the end. And so as I talk about even a current battle that's going on here in the state of Ohio, and I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but want to delve deeply into kind of what's going on from a spiritual perspective here in the state of Ohio and then really across the nation, because the Michigan State Constitution, that was kind of amended a little bit by lawmakers up there concerning kind of sexual discrimination based on sexual orientation, gender identity, expression, things of that nature. Well, here in the state of Ohio, signatures are currently being collected. Really what is going to be a great threat to religious freedom and safety, privacy rights, all those things in recent history. So there's a so-called Equal Rights Amendment that's going around. It's better known as the Sexual Orientation or Gender Identity Law, what they call SOGI laws, and we've seen these pop up around the country. But it creates a laundry list of problems for businesses, ministries, medical professionals, women, children. It basically allows, children to have sex change procedures, men and women's sports, men and women's restrooms, and all those things. But there's also a second part of the amendment that seeks to amend how Ohio defines marriage as well. So it wants to define marriage as something other than between a man and a woman. And I think one of the reasons that some progressives are pushing this forward in the state of Ohio is they kind of are reading the tea leaves of what could happen to the Obergefell decision that took place at the Supreme Court, which, of course, legalized so-called same-sex marriage across the United States. And just like Roe one day fell because it was bad law, I think Obergefell is going to fall as well. It's bad law. It was just kind of made up out of thin air. And so they're trying to get ahead of the game working with these state constitutions. Now, I just wanted to make 4 points this morning so we get kind of a basis to understand what's taking place from a spiritual perspective in the country right now. So the first point I just want to make is, no one has the authority, ultimately, to redefine gender, marriage, or anything else that God has defined. Genesis 1:27, it's explicitly clear. God made us male and female. He called us to marriage and procreation. And when we don't follow these two kind of foundational, biblical, and natural truths, we find ourselves in disarray. And the whole transgender question that we've been talking about as a society, all of this stems really back to trying to manipulate our bodies and the redefinition of marriage, all these things that we're challenged with as a society. So that's just the first point. No one really has the authority to redefine these things. But second point, we are now standing, and we're even having these conversations because we're standing in the greatest conflict ever known to man. And those aren't my words. Those are the words of Cardinal Kara-Wojtyła, who would go on to become St. John Paul II when he came to a Eucharistic Congress in Philadelphia all the way back in 1978. He said, quote, "We are now standing in the face of the greatest historical confrontation humanity has gone through. I do not think that wide circles of American society or wide circles of the Christian community realizes fully. We are now facing the final confrontation between the church and the anti-church of the gospel versus the anti-gospel. And nowhere do we see that more played out than in the theology of the body. What theology are you bringing to your understanding of the human person and the human body today? Do you believe that boys are boys and girls are girls, or do you believe that can be manipulated like everything else? So St. John Paul II also wrote once, "The future of humanity passes by the way of the family." And we see that final battle now taking place over what? Over the family, over gender, over sexuality. And Sister Lucia, from Fatima, said that the final battle between the Lord and the kingdom of Satan will be about marriage and the family. That's point two, is that this battle we're now engaged in is a final battle of sorts between the kingdom of God and the kingdom of Satan. and we have to be woke up to the reality of the battle that we're in. Now, number 3, it should come as no surprise that the final battle we're facing is over marriage, sexuality, and procreation, just from a biblical perspective. I mean, the Bible begins with marriage, Genesis chapter 2, and they become one flesh, talking about Adam and Eve. The Bible ends with marriage, Revelations 19:7, for the marriage of the Lamb has come, the marriage of Christ and his church. Paul equates the earthly marriage with the heavenly, Ephesians chapter 5:29-32. I'm applying it to Christ and the church. So marriage is language that we've been given to be able to understand the ultimate destiny of man. And God desires marriage with us. So says the prophet Hosea chapter 2:19, and I will take you as my wife forever. So here's the point. Here's the bottom line. What is marriage? Marriage exists to unite a man and woman as husband and wife to then be equipped to be mother and father to any children that union produces. It's based upon biological fact that reproduction requires a man and woman, and sociological reality that children deserve a mother and a father. So go out there, fight for marriage, and don't sign any equal rights amendment here in Ohio.
Yeah, thanks for pointing out that use of language, because that gets by people. So thank you.
And they'll be coming along with clipboards, so be on your guard. All right, Peter Range, the senior fellow at the Center for Christian Virtue. A little young to be a senior, but it works.
I know.
Thanks, Peter. Have a great day.
Bye, Pete.
Take care, guys.